expectation at Barcelona is always to win a trophy, and I would love to see them being domestic champions once again. I think that the team having this mix of youth and experience is always a fun thing to see. The young players especially getting on the score sheet today for their first ever professional goals, and Martin and obviously making sure that he's celebrating and feeling a part of the team. That's important for them as well, Casado as well.
Here's how it all stands in the title race after the weekend. Barca back top by a point, but Atleti and Real switch places from what it was on Friday. Real 3 points off the top now, as you can see. They're on 54 points. Barcelona leading the way on 57. I was kind of looking back at the stats with the team earlier, and we looked when Barcelona won the treble. It was 2014-15. So we've had a decade since then. Do you think this is the best Barcelona team that we've had in that 10-year period? You could make a pretty good argument that it is.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. We're not far away from that. Obviously, this team needs to win something. That's where you're probably waiting. Expectation at Barcelona is always to win a trophy, and I would love to see them being domestic champions once again. I think that the team having this mix of youth and experience is always a fun thing to see. The young players especially getting on the score sheet today for their first ever professional goals, and Martin and obviously making sure that he's celebrating and feeling a part of the team. That's important for them as well, Casado as well. I just love the fact that this team is creating so many chances, and when I watch them, Adam, I find it hard to disagree with you because they're so entertaining. They play a lovely style of football. We see this so many times about teams around the world right now not necessarily having an identity. You certainly can't question that about what Hansi Flick is doing with his team. The way they create goals from the wide areas, the way they just continuously create opportunities through the middle. They have a never-ending avenue of creating chances for your team to be successful. And realistically, 19 different goal scorers now across all competitions for Barcelona tells me that they've got depth there for this squad. And it's a lot of young players, as you can see right there, that are coming through and really shining. Not necessarily always from La Masia. There's a few they've brought in through the door that are starting to be difference makers as well. So I find it hard to disagree with you.
They are on fire. They're in the driving seat in the title race. How much do you think this weekend and the results in it change the picture of the title race? Because we know from the fixtures that are coming up, Barcelona have got some serious tests to come. Yeah,
big tests. Obviously, in the Champions League, Benfica, we were together, obviously, after that game when it finished ridiculous and they won with a high-scoring finish at the end of the game from Rafinha. Hopefully, we see a similar affair, obviously, away from home as well as at home. I think that will be closer than what people expect. Then you've obviously got Atletico Madrid, who are battling with you right now at the top of the table, and of course, Atleti also in Copa del Rey in the semi-final, which, you know, a 4-4 first leg was something special. We could expect some drama in the second leg as well. Hansi Flick's done a great job. I mean, his team is simply doing well. Even the players who step up and make a difference. Dani Olmo came into the team, obviously, and has been impactful this season. The registration issue that they've had with him has been a real mess, but still, when he performs, he plays well. He has actually become the 12th player for Barcelona to have multiple assists in a single game this season, which is ridiculous. I mentioned the 124 goals. But to be involved in multiple assists, they're just such a dangerous side. Today, no different. They had 33 shots in this game, which was absolutely crazy.
And it is a lot more goals than the rest of the competition around Europe. 105 for Real Madrid, that's pretty good going, but 124 for Barca, and you can compare that to PSG in French football, Bayern and Liverpool as well. Much behind that target set by Barcelona. And speaking of goal scorers, we saw Robert Lewandowski there. What strikes me about this title race, one of the really interesting aspects of it, is each side is led by a stunning goal scorer. You've got obviously Mbappe for Real Madrid, you've got Julian Alvarez at Atleti, and then Lewandowski at Barcelona. And Barcelona are contributed by some of the other players too. If you were to kind of only be able to have one of them, which way would you go?
Well, very difficult to obviously choose. I have a very soft spot for Robert Lewandowski. I've actually spent some time with him while he was in the Bundesliga at Bayern Munich, and what a great player he was for the Bundesliga and helped them. But what he's doing now for Barcelona is helping Hansi Flick take his team to the next level as far as I'm concerned. His goals are consistent. It's been ridiculous to watch him score once again this season in the fashion he's done. Obviously, 34 goals in 37 games is special. Kylian Mbappe, for me, is one of the most talented players I think I've ever seen running with the ball at speed. The way he finishes, we're starting to see and recognise the true potential, because I don't think we've seen the best of Kylian yet. I know he's obviously won a World Cup. I want to see him win a Champions League trophy. I'd love to see him have success domestically with Real Madrid. He is an outstanding footballer and someone that I enjoy watching. Julian Alvarez has made a great move, as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, recognising at Manchester City he wasn't going to be number one with the battle alongside Erling Haaland. So what he did do is he went to an Atleti side where he's had to be patient. He's not necessarily always been in the starting 11. Sometimes he's come off the bench. but he's another World Cup winner that's full of confidence and a tremendous goal scorer across multiple competitions, and they're going to need that rotation as they go between now and the end of the season. I'm leaning on Lewandowski having success with Barcelona domestically. I think Barcelona can win it this year. Atleti will go very close with them, whereas Real Madrid's focus will probably be on the Champions League. But this guy's just unbelievable. He continues to get better and better. You know, we talked about obviously the goals. They've scored 124 across all competitions. They have scored 28 more goals than Atletico Madrid, who are second. You know, if that doesn't tell you much about the squad, I don't know what will, because they're just so deadly, so dangerous, so creative, and for a player like him at his age, he's still managing to be that guy that's a difference maker in Europe's top 5 leagues. He's one of the best and will remain one of the best. How on earth he never won a Ballon d'Or is beyond me in 2020. That cancellation was a disgrace. He should have got it.
I want to pick up on something you just mentioned there about Kylian Mbappe and the levels that he's still got. When we're climbing the stairs, he's still got a few levels to go.
Agree?
I agree, but what is it in his game, or perhaps with the players around him, the contribution that they can make, that he's getting at Real Madrid that he wasn't getting at PSG, for example? Where are those levels for him? How does he become Kylian Mbappe Mark 2 and 3?
Well, Kylian Mbappe this season's taken 106 shots. And he's scored 17 goals in La Liga, which is quite exceptional. It's brilliant. I'd like to see more consistency, certainly with the opportunities he's got and is going to continue to get playing in that Real Madrid side. It's probably the most talented players that he's had around him ever in his lifetime. And I know he's been at PSG with a lot of talented players around him, including Lionel Messi and including Neymar and multiple others who have been around there. But to me, this is a Real Madrid side that is determined to win trophies, and to do that, you've got to be playing your best football in every single position. He'll get more opportunities than he's ever had before playing in that number 9 position, and I think he's starting to master that position. Now, this is where I see the development. Kylian Mbappe notoriously has always drifted off to that left-hand side where Vinny Jr., he wants to play in that position, right? But now what we're recognising is that if you give him time, Kylian Mbappe, he can essentially master any position you put him in. And the number 9 at Real Madrid is one of the most notorious positions for pressure. You have to have success. You've got to score goals. And to score goals, you've got to win trophies at that football club. Otherwise, your time is limited at that football club. And Kylian Mbappe is showing me right now that he is mastering that number 9 position in a Real Madrid jersey. It's fabulous to watch him motivate himself, change his style of play, make different runs, and become a better footballer than we've seen before.
He's been absolutely brilliant so far this season. Let's just recheck on the standings at the top of the table, because it is an intriguing title race. Barcelona end the weekend at the top once again, 57 points from their 26 matches. Atletico 1 point behind on 56, and then Real Madrid, after their defeat to Real Betis, really the losers on the weekend, they're on 54, so 3 points behind and with some work